Good evening, welcome to Military Strategies. We are live right now, April 6th, 2026. Donald Trump is giving Iran 48 more hours to come to its senses, and we have new information. Pay attention to this, because the pilot's operation could have been something more, something that was being prepared and has now been discovered. Now, don't miss it here on Military Strategies. We're starting. Good evening, family. Welcome to Military Strategies. We are live right now on none other than April 6th, 2026. New data, new information, new things that are being discovered, that I am discovering, that I am seeing. Get ready, because there's more. There's more to the story behind all this. It's clear that the United States has told one version. We've seen another version, and we're making our own version. Be careful, because there are more stories about the pilot, but 48 hours? 48 hours the other day? We had a live broadcast prepared that we couldn't do because we were physically exhausted. We were already worn out. We're tired today too, right? I know what's been happening to me lately, but I'm extremely exhausted. But I want to show you what happened the other day, which we couldn't see. Let's see it. I'm going to look for it. Here's the thing, so people can understand. None other than Donald Trump would be willing to destroy bridges, communication systems, and power plants in Iran. Donald Trump is currently on edge. You saw it in this afternoon's message. Open the Strait of Hormuz or start praying to Allah. Literally. Tremendous. Let's look at the footage we didn't see the other day, the video we couldn't watch. And now we are going to see it. I welcome you to Military Strategies, family. Thank you very much for being with us. Sorry for the wait and for starting late. It's worth it, and now you'll see why. Video from the other day. There we can see the bunker buster munition falling straight down at a 90-degree angle to destroy the bridge. Notice how they keep falling. It's tremendous. Obviously, being so close to an operation like this, to a bombing like this, means putting yourself in danger. The B1 bridge, the one that connects the northwest of Tehran with Karaj, we're going to see it now. We're going to go to the bridge and see it. It was destroyed. It was the first warning. It was the first warning of a story. This could become very common. In fact, be careful, because Iran has a lot of bridges. The country could be paralyzed. But why the bridge? What's the point of bombing that bridge? I think that there are things we're not ready to understand yet. There are things we still don't know, and they're happening. Look at this. Look at the bridge we're seeing right now, completely destroyed. It's impossible to use it directly. This has created a huge spectacle. Iran is saying they've attacked civilian infrastructure. They have 40-something days of war launching missiles. 47 days of war launching missiles against entire cities. I don't know why they start crying, not even because their bridge gets destroyed, but it's a bridge, the B1, that really stands out. With this, it would be the beginning of what's about to come or what's about to happen, and it's a bridge. Before we put up the map, I'm going to save a location I have for what's coming next. Don't miss it. There is new information. New information about the release or the rescue. The weapons operator as well. This is going to blow your mind. You're going to be completely blown away. Let's go. Let's go to the map. It's a bridge that goes up, separating Karak from Eram on one of the routes. Let's look for it now. It goes right over a river, something like that. One of the biggest bridges in the Middle East, and it was destroyed. Why? What for? Karak Bridge. I'm going to look for the exact location so we can see it. I think there's a map of Iran. I think we're talking about two different things. This one we see here, this bridge, which is an important structure within Iran's infrastructure. It's built, and now it's destroyed. Notice that there are different ways to cross. Highway 2, the one we see here, is this area right here. But this one here gets destroyed. That one gets destroyed. Let's say what you want to do is make all the possible traffic flow. Go along Route 2. You have total control of this area and the road, and there's no way to go around or attack from behind. It could be another possibility. One of the simplest options would be we've destroyed the bridge as a message of what's to come, and it could also be... The country isn't the only place that has this kind of locations. It's not the only one. We saw it the other day around here. This bridge, for example, could also be destroyed. Russia has already evacuated personnel from the Bushehr nuclear plant. Thank you. Donald Trump has given 48 more hours, not because he wants to give them more time, or because he doesn't dare to do it. I simply think it's just a matter of logistics. And there's something fishy going on here. There's something fishy going on here. The operation we saw last night to rescue the pilot, be careful because it wasn't acting alone. There was something else there. Get ready, right? If you like the content, subscribe to the channel. We have 30% of the people who watch us who aren't subscribed, so follow us, leave your like, and turn on the notification bell if you like the content. PayPal me/Estrategias Militares. And you also have the super chats, which we're going to read now. Tonight, we're going to answer questions live here on Estrategias Militares. Video. It's not footage of the operation, okay? It's not footage of the operation. No. But it's a similar environment. A C-130 landing on the sand on an improvised runway. We see this one, for example. The one we're looking at right now. We see this other one. Of course, there's a lot of talk about it. There's a lot being said. And now that we're calmer, more comfortable, we can start talking about this. That place is not a coincidence. It's being said now that the plane wasn't shot down in Tehran. The plane was shot down in Isfahan, while a bombing operation was being carried out over the south of Isfahan. And we have new information. Why are we going to link this to those 48 hours? Because maybe Donald Trump has lost an ace he had up his sleeve. He used it. He didn't lose it. He used it. A wild card. We believe that the place where the F-15 crashes is here. Right here at this spot. The crew ejects. One of the pilots is recovered hours later. And the weapons systems officer is recovered right here. We also know that the parachutes they carry are not paragliders. They're parachutes that don't allow you to move very far. So yes, the area is close and he could be there. We could be in that area. The outskirts of Isfahan? But actually, what was this? Actually, what was the runway? Well, we're going to explain the runway now here on military strategies, because right now there's a debate on social media that you can't even imagine at this moment about that runway. Why was it there? Who was in charge of that runway? New photographs we have, things that have been found, remains that were left behind by the Americans who spent an entire night there. An entire night. On the runway. Notice something. It's not a coincidence, huh? It's a place that's ideal for launching an operation against one of the biggest targets, or the biggest target of this war, to keep Iran from having nuclear weapons. Why?
Tenemos un vídeo del presidente de la energía atómica que está por aquí. Vamos a buscarlo. Creo que lo hemos seleccionado. Aquí está.
Watch, he's about to discuss Isfahan. It's good, right? The video is really good. March 18, 2026. Let's watch it. Music off. Video.
IAEA has identified a new underground enrichment facility.
The Atomic Energy Agency has located a new site. New site. Underground, below ground, underground site in Isfahan?
It's Isfahan. Can you tell us more?
Iran itself declared it last year. They declared that there was Iran.
Last year it declared it itself. They declared it last year.
A new facility.
A new facility.
And we
immediately requested permission to enter and inspect it. To see what Iran was doing, plotting and setting up there.
He requested access to each one of them. Access was granted.
Access was granted, but
we never made it.
But we never did.
To that place.
We never got to that place.
Because the 12-day war.
Because of the 12-day war. The 12-day war started.
So we were not able to see.
Yes, we haven't been able to see.
What kind of facility this was.
What kind of facility is it?
This was whether it was a...
What was it like?
Empty hall.
If it was empty?
Or a place already fitted with centrifuges.
Or a place that was already prepared with centrifuges. In Cascade.
Still need to see.
We still need to visit that place.
So what evidence do you have that there is an enrichment facility?
He asks, what evidence do you have that it's a uranium enrichment facility?
At this site.
He says,
no, I don't have any. I mean, the IAEA, the Atomic Energy Agency,
Agencia de la Energía Atómica,
has no evidence at all that what you're about to see now on the map in a few seconds is for centrifuging.
Declaration by Iran that there is a facility.
The declaration by Iran.
and our request. So it is already an object of interest.
It is an object of interest to us. Object of interest. Interesting. Object of interest. I like it. I like objects of interest. Let's see. What object of interest do we have around here? Supposedly, the object of interest for the United States of America is more than 400 kilos of uranium to manufacture 11 nuclear bombs. The photographs of the trucks loaded with barrels, 18 barrels entering this place, could indicate that this is where the uranium is, not in Fordo. The yellow cake was brought from Fordo, prepared here, and could be in here. Why did we say that Donald Trump has used up one of his cards? Why did we say that Trump now has to buy time again? Because maybe this airfield has been isolated from everything, without enemies who could come and attack from a nearby mountain. It was to launch an assault on that facility. It was a staging point to get to the uranium. It could have been distance from that place to the other place. Let's check it out over here. The first thing we have to do before anything else is mark the tunnel entrances on the map, which are here, right inside. Joe, personally, I think there's no coincidence here and that everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason, not by coincidence. And it's striking that some time ago I talked about runways in the middle of nowhere, which can be used in Fordo, for example. I'll show one in a few seconds so you can see it, where this could be done in Fordo. There are places in Iran where it's very clear how this could be done. All right, we have point 6 marked, which is the facility. Point 6. Distance to the LZ of the rescue operation. 40 kilometers, an interesting distance for launching an assault in a matter of minutes. You're there, you can quickly get into position with those super fast helicopters. You can enter this area and get in there. What would have been Donald J. Trump's idea from the Pentagon? The War Office. Well, the idea was to risk it all. That's it. It's all done. The idea was not to rescue a pilot, to use this runway we see here. After clearing out this whole area we see here, and now you'll see. Enter. Using the mountain as cover. Out of range of anti-aircraft fire.
To the location.
We secure it. There we are. Route completed. Get here quickly with the helis, get all the way here. But of course, that's point number 1. Can this be done there? Technically, having air superiority at night, you can infiltrate units. You would have casualties surely from portable anti-aircraft weapon fire. But you could do it. You could do it because the Isfahan facility itself is protected by walls. See? There's a mountain where you can place observers, sniper positions, special operations groups watching with laser designators, drones flying over the area, launching missiles. Laser guided against enemies that might attack the facility. But of course, we're talking about a city of 2.2 million people. We would have to study very carefully the psychological reaction this could have on the Iranian population of Isfahan. There were many protests in Isfahan as well, so there must be a strong position within the regime. Maybe Donald Trump was expecting a social movement to take advantage of that turmoil, to be able to go in, seize equipment, open doors, or find a way in. That alternative exists within this facility. There are some, and I'm going to show them now in a few seconds. Take the uranium loaded onto small aircraft to that area. The Operations LZ, which was this one right here. And from there, say mission accomplished. Take the uranium, they don't have it anymore, it's over. What are we basing this on? What information is this story based on? I'll show you something else now. To take the same night. What happens that night when this happens? They are there all night and until dawn. We know that the pilot decides to climb to the top of this mountain ridge. Well, we know that at first he had a concussion, who later makes contact at midnight from the top, from the summit, while hiding. But the pilot knew this area, because they know about the operation that is being prepared and is underway. The pilot knew there was an airfield nearby as an extraction point. He could probably see it in the distance. It's there at the end. Do you see it? But something else happened that night. The F-15 was shot down in this area. And pay attention to this. It's said that this facility we see here would also be linked to the nuclear program and the construction of infrastructure for the nuclear program. Notice something that's happening. NASA satellite. Day. April 5th, 2026. Fire detection. In the afternoon at 6. Possibly. There was possibly also an attack on this facility. This facility that we're seeing here. And I think it's obvious that seeing what we're seeing here, you might think it goes underground. The facility is surrounded as well. We see that there's security control access, that it's inside or part of this complex. And I think there are more things here that they're not telling us, that they're not saying. Look back here, the arsenals we have, tunnels that were being dug, tunnels that are also being dug here. So there's infrastructure here. Look at these bunkers. Just look here. Look at the bunkers on this side, and there are some on the other side too, or at least a few. Look at the earth that has been taken out from each of the bunkers. These piles, which means they have a certain depth inside this mountain. Thank you. And this very place we're seeing here is part of this whole nuclear program. Nuclear. Everything we see here is part of the nuclear program that is being attacked on the very same day or at the same time as the rescue operation. The plan we finished has been accelerated. The operation to use this base as a base of operations to get people on the ground, inspect these sites, look for uranium in these places, and possibly take it away. Why? Why? Look at the photographs we'll see now. Let's see. Photos, folks. What have they found over there? These people? This was taken from the LZ area, that is where the planes land. Toothpaste. But the toothpaste isn't new. The toothpaste has been used for days. Well, it could be a coincidence. Bags with combat rations. With a survival kit. How many days had they really been there? How long had they been inside Iran undercover? Here and in some places. What could they have taken? Could they have been hiding there? Near this place, I mean. Why send 100 more than 100 operatives to take out a single man? Planes, 4 helicopters? It really drew a lot of attention, didn't it? It drew too much attention. We don't know enough about this story, and that could be very, very interesting. Very interesting, everyone. We are live right now on Estrategias Militares. I want your opinions in the chat. Super chat. I want to know what you think about this topic. I think that Donald Trump, I'm going to be clear about this. I'm going to take a stand. I'm going to say it clearly. I have the feeling. I have the feeling in this story that there are 2 points. 1, Trump is going to keep Iran's oil. 2, why is he going to keep Iran's oil? Because he needs to finance this war that's costing a lot of money. It has to be financed. The flow of hydrocarbons to China must be cut off. We have to cut it off from them too, so that they can have access to a cheap fuel. And that decreases the competitiveness of American products in the market. Which is why I think the United States wants to take Iran's oil. Then there's the uranium issue. The US opposes Iran having a nuclear bomb. His approach, if it hasn't worked, isn't working. It hasn't given the result he expected. Well, it was to be expected. It's a theology, Shiism, and all they want is to destroy the world. Going back to the photo, look at how crazy they are. Look at what they write on the drones, patterns. in memory of all the suffering of Jesus Christ, Son of the Blessed Mary. And we await the day when he returns. The promise of the Mahdi, the final judgment. They are waging this war because they believe it is the final judgment. They believe this is the final war between good and evil, between the great Satan and the little Satan, Israel and the United States. The Dajjal or Antichrist and the Mahdi will come, and that we will all be judged. They truly believe in this. Since they believe in this, you can't expect the Venezuela model to work. They're completely different, and what's happening in Venezuela isn't a religion. It's pure corruption and organized crime. This is different. Donald Trump, I think he knows it, but he had to wait for all the troops to arrive, for everything to be ready, until there was superiority in key areas of Iran. And what's more, I think that if we started looking within the radius of some cities that are going to be key in this story for facilities like the one we're seeing, we would find quite a few places to land. 48 hours. What's going to start happening from Tuesday? Possibly nothing. Possibly nothing. Why? Because Trump keeps buying time. He wants to buy time. He wants to continue, to keep this going as long as he can. Is he dragging it out? Yes, he's dragging it out. Is the market suffering? Yes, it's suffering. But money is also being made. I mean, it's obvious that money is also being made. With the rise and fall of fuel prices, someone is making quite a bit of money. Com's case? In Com, we have, obviously, Fordo, this mega facility from hell, where the B-2S are also kept, remember? Midnight Hammer, they blew it up, right? Well, not far from Fordo, there's an airfield. This one could also be used. Do you see this here? The American troops could use it. A little more over here in this area. There's also some kind of road around here that was being built or is being built. It gives you a huge landing strip. Look here, okay? So you can land a plane like the one we saw just a few seconds ago landing on the sand. This is the video. It can be done. I mean, Iran has many places that are isolated from large population centers, missiles. From Lebanon right now. From different population centers that can be used or something like that can be attempted, right? Like we just saw tonight. I think so. The United States has revealed one of its cards that is capable of penetrating all the way to Isfahan and setting up a special operations base for an entire night. It can do that with total impunity, with air cover it can. No problem so far and none expected. And I also think that we're going to see some kind of operation like that soon. Very soon. And now, yes, it's still Hezbollah. They're launching. They're launching right now. Hezbollah, let's get to your comments, folks. Let's get to the community comments. Thank you so much to everyone who has supported before, really. There were a lot of super chats earlier. Sorry, I haven't been able to read them. There wasn't enough time for that, but we will try to read them now because we want the community to participate with us as well. I would really like to know your opinion. Also, feel completely free to say whether you think yes or no, whatever you think. War is a business. It's a business for everyone, for some more than others, obviously, but it's a business that pharmaceutical companies profit, transportation companies, insurance, those military companies, everyone really profits from war. There's no difference there. 48 hours. What do you think will happen in 48 hours? Trump has already moved these deadlines 3 times and nothing has happened. I mean, they haven't done anything or they haven't attacked. We don't know this time what's going to happen, what's going to occur. By the way, Dear moderators, please post the link to MyHeritage. MyHeritage is a company that helps you learn about your ancestors through genetics. You can find lost relatives around the world, learn about your ethnic origins, and discover a lot of information about yourself and your history. And I got a discount code for you, EM29. When you go to buy the kit using the link they're going to put in the chat now, many people have already done it and are already enjoying MyHeritage. You enter the code EM29 and it will be much cheaper for you. It's not because I make anything from it or not, because honestly, it's not very significant. But I know there are people who like this. And you can see things, for example, if you come or have family in Israel, if you have family in any country, your ethnic origin. Another day I'll show you here live. We're going to show so people can see it. I know some people have emailed me to ask me about this. Well, you'll have the MyHeritage link around there. And look, there are people who say I have 2% Ashkenazi or something like that. And so on, right? So, well, I think I'm going to try. No, that link doesn't work. The link you're posting in the Mehiri doesn't work. EM29, please remove the EM29 because it doesn't work. Thank you. It's the one that works, the one we just put in right now. And with that link, you then enter the code EM29 and they'll give you a discount. So it's easy. So that people who like these things can enjoy them, right? That's it. Good. Let's get to the comments. Let's get to the comments. Thank you for the live streams, info, and your hard work, Estrategias. Thanks to everyone, Alberto. Thanks, Estrategias. Great work as always. Maybe the boxer they left as a souvenir was used for many days. Hugs from Costa Rica, Estrategias. It could be. Trav, greetings, Estrategias. Anis, hi to him. I think the G is against the I. It's not in favor of the I. I'm not saying I don't understand anything. I don't understand this super chat. Everything will be. We made a mistake. We all make mistakes. I don't get it, my friend. Write it a little better so we can all understand it. Allah may be great, but Trump is greater. Down with the regime, says Andrea Villar. Thank you very much, Andrea, for that comment. Well, I think Trump is egocentric. We've always said it here. He's egocentric. Narcissistic, too. It's okay. There are all kinds of people on this planet, and there need to be. But it's something that, if used properly, is fine. In this case, it can be a benefit for Israel, for example. Or a benefit for the people of Iran. Trump has insisted on freeing Iran. Thank you. And he's not going to stop. No, he's not going to stop. He's not going to stop, and he's going to keep going with this whole story. Thank you very much, Pablo. Thanks for the super chat and for joining us. I think that in 48 hours, maybe nothing will happen. Nothing? Because he wants to reach an agreement. Mainly to keep the oil, the Venezuela route. He wants to avoid as much as possible the deployment of American troops and any casualties on the ground. But if things don't go the way he wants, I think he will. He will go in. He'll go in with everything he's got. And he's going to do it. How much does MyHeritage cost? I don't know how much it costs with the voucher I shared with you. It costs $24. Normally it costs $29, which is $24. They send it to your home with everything included. I'm not sure. Check it yourselves. As I said, I haven't seen it. I just told them the community wants something like this. We could do something nice for them so they can enjoy it too, right? Yeah. This, which is so cool, I have it. I mean, I didn't get it for free. I paid for it myself. In fact, I've paid for services from several companies. This is one. I paid for another to compare and see if it's true. And it's true, right? He set a 48-hour deadline. That is Tuesday at 8 in the evening. Or Washington time. Hell has to break loose. It's just that we've already said it many times. Hell has to break loose. You have to get there. You have to attack. I don't know. All of this seems strange to me. In a way, it's understandable that he wants to avoid a ground war, but it's going to be inevitable. It's inevitable. By the way, this is a photo from the IAEA. They've found something else in the area where the planes from the operation were. a McDonald's. Just kidding. No, but given what we've seen, we have to admit something. The United States has shown Iran that it has the ability to set up a military base. A temporary base for hours, with more than 100 people operating on the ground, without 4,000, 5,000, or 20,000 soldiers coming to destroy it, right? We haven't seen this before. There was a real risk that those soldiers could have been trapped behind enemy lines. That could have happened. 100%. But it didn't happen. It's just that hasn't happened.
So that's how it is.
There was also sunscreen in the photos too. The photos we've seen, there's sunscreen around there. So they had already been there for days. I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe they had been there for hours or days since this operation started. I don't know. Maybe some special operations group was involved there. That could be it too. Then we have headlines from really smart people. People who radiate intelligence from their whole being. We have people like this. I don't know who this is. Where did they find her? Where? Between the Chiclana girls and these, well, we have quite a few. Fran Sevilla mentioned this the other day too. The rescue was a failure. Spain's public broadcaster. It seems that Iran has sent the bonus check to Spain's public broadcaster so they would write the headline, "The rescue was a failure." No, the rescue was not a failure. The objective of the rescue, which was to bring the pilot home, has been accomplished. What's more, there have been no casualties on the American side. They've shown a picture of a skull out there, inside what they claimed was a plane, and no, it was a vehicle heading to the area where the crew member of this plane was, and they blew it up from the air. In fact, we have the photograph of the vehicle with the personnel. There are videos that I can't show here because of community guidelines, but they are quite graphic. The massacre that the United States left behind in the area of operations, it's absolute madness. But then there's Televisión Española with 119,000 views. The rescue was a failure. The fighter jet crew member rescued in Iran is seriously injured. I don't know if he's seriously injured. How did he climb one that was 2,000 meters high? Seriously injured. He survives for more than 24 hours. I don't know. These are things that when you read them, you have no idea where these people come from, what market niche they come out of, or where they got them from, but it's amazing. These guys are the ones who are going to capture the pilot. They're all dead. They gave him an anti-aircraft launcher in case they ran into a helicopter. They're all dead. All of them. Like those few anti-air defense operators we've seen images of in the last few hours. They're dead.
They're dead. They're all dead.
They're dead. If Donald Trump attacks us on our energy infrastructure, there will be a similar retaliatory attack.
Our armed forces have made it clear.
Our armed forces have made it clear
Is Iran's infrastructure
that if Iran's infrastructure is attacked,
we will respond in a fair manner.
we will respond. We will act accordingly.
The armed forces would target any infrastructure
Our armed forces will target similar infrastructure, as they've done since day one.
that is owned by or in any way related to the European Union.
It says that they are or belong to the United States. It says that they are related to the United States.
Of the United States or contributes to its
or that contribute to attacks by the United States, referring to Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait.
Act of aggression against Iran. This is not something we will do voluntarily. We will do voluntarily.
This is not something we will do voluntarily. Again, they've been doing it for days, even weeks. We've seen it in Kuwait, we've seen it in Saudi Arabia, we've seen it in Oman, we've seen it in several places.
Or voluntary decision. It's something that is part of our defense measures.
He says this is part of our defensive system to protect ourselves.
He says this is part of our system, an illegal act.
Illegal act. Iran says that if their central infrastructure and so on are attacked, they will do the same. I think
that it's a topic complicated. Very complicated.
if there's an attack, the price of oil will go up, refineries will be attacked, and I don't know what's going to happen. I think there won't be an attack. I don't think so yet. I think the final operation in this whole story will be the capture of Carr Island, the capture of some important centers. Capture and the uranium issue. And with that, we would close the loop. With that, we close the loop. Possibly. Let's get to more comments, folks. Come on, let's see. Estrategias, I follow you daily from Murcia. I also follow Ariel. Thank you very much for following me and Ariel. All the channels you follow surely have very good content. I won't miss his upcoming movie. Me neither. Maybe they left the boxer there as a souvenir. All right, fine. Every 48 hours. But now he's destroying them. Well, it's just that certainly, the bombings continue. I mean, this goes on. None of this is stopping. Iran is being bombed right now. Cyberloo, here he is. Someone gave me a membership. Thank you. Well, thanks to whoever gave Cyberloo the membership. Estrategias, I follow you daily and we've already put it up. Thanks a lot. More than a stray bullet, it's like a field exercise to see Iran's capabilities, the moment it reacts to a higher level invasion. Of course, just imagine taking a nearby airport. Look, there's even one. It's just that in Isfahan, let's take a look at it. Great super chat. This is kind of a rehearsal, a simulation of this whole thing, right? Here in Isfahan, not far from this place, there's an airport almost right at the doorstep of the plant. Let's look for it around here. Look, this one here. The thing is, this one is right above bunkers, tunnels and anti-air defenses. Still, everything can be swept away. I mean, this piece of land, I think that's why these days we're seeing the sweep underway in Isfahan. Because it might be used something from around here eventually to get here. Take out the uranium and get out. Let none of this surprise us. We shouldn't be surprised. Look, this one's broken. This runway we see here, they broke it, or it's broken very deliberately or strategically. This allows water to pass underneath. Maybe so they can't land. But here you have pieces where you can, for example, from there to there, I don't know what the condition of this part is, it's just that you can't land there. That piece doesn't work, but maybe look at how clever they are. They put this in the middle of the road, so you can't use it as a landing strip. So look, for example, from here to here. This point to this point. You can use this one. Look. You can use that piece over there. They've likely added a bit more here already. And you can see that they're building some kind of highway or a road. Look, this part is very interesting. This little piece we see here is playful, as I like to say. Thank you. There, it's big enough to build yourself a landing strip. Here, obviously, since they're building, this won't be covered. If it were covered, this would be great. Come on, it wouldn't just be great, it would be ideal. If this were working, this picture is from 2023. 2020. Let's check for something newer. The first thing we should check is whether this site is actively being built or if it's an abandoned project. It's been abandoned for a long time. Notice that the abandonment has been going on for a long time in some areas. So, yes, this area here has been paved. But there are other areas that haven't. Of course not. Well, so there we have another point. That could have been or could be very interesting. Right, look, it's right there. You can go with the vehicles, take it out, get in and leave. But let me stress this again. It's just that it's a city of 2.2 million people. That's why this area was much more discreet. Outside the city, you use helicopters to remove them. Next, use a heavier helicopter to load the barrels and remove them. It could be. It could be. Let's go through more super chats and comments, family. There were a lot of comments here. Comments. Hello, Estrategias and family. It's the sarcastic Catholic from Argentina who got hit with an umbrella. This is getting worse. Are you military or ex-military? Maybe just passionate about the subject. Greetings from Villa Maria, Cordoba, Argentina. Lorena, I don't share my private life. For security reasons, we don't share much about Estrategias. Besides, I'm not that important anyway. The message and the work we do here are more important. Thank you for the super chat, of course. And I understand your curiosity, but I'm not interested in sharing much about my life. It's a pretty sad life story. I prefer to think there are more interesting topics than myself, right? But I think it's obvious that by seeing what we do, what we talk about, and what we say, well, I think you can answer that yourself. Car Island, how will they defend it from Iran's drones and small missiles? Angel, it can be defended. With proper systems, it can be defended. You deploy anti-aircraft defense systems there, like cram-type cannons, these giant machine guns that fire very quickly. You also bring missile systems or anti-drone missiles that exist. For example, the Coyote system. And it protects you. If you want, Car Island can be protected. The question is whether it's worth maintaining it over time or how long you'll be able to maintain it over time. And besides, it's an island that only serves as storage. There are 30 million barrels there. Or 40 million barrels, that's what can be stored. I don't know if that's in your interest or not. Because when Iran stops pumping oil to that island, there's no island anymore. That is, when what's there runs out, it's gone and that's it. It would likely be temporary. Shalom. Okay, hey everyone from Argentina. I hope you had a blessed Pesach holiday. And to the Christians, I hope you had a blessed Resurrection Sunday. It was over from the start. Thank you, Victoria. Greetings. Greetings from Florida. Strategies. I would just like to go to Florida. I would like that. It's true that the brand of boxers is the same one that was criticized by the woke media for a jeans commercial. American Eagle. That would be really funny. I know it's a chain of stores. That the boxes are already sold out. They're completely sold out and there aren't any left. The United States will attack with maximum surprise when least expected. That's what they like. Total surprise. 100%? Thanks so much, everyone, for all the super chats you just sent. I keep insisting on this. He gets hysterical about the 48-hour thing. I think there's still a long way to go. There's still a lot of fighting left. I think there's still a lot more to come. I think we're going to be surprised by some things. With others, not so much because we already knew about them. But our predictions about what was happening will be confirmed. Today, Donald Trump has already confirmed in an interview with a journalist that they have armed the Kurds, the Kurdish area. They have been armed. Do you remember when we did the shows and said the Kurds would invade the Kurds and go after Tehran? Well, give it time. Give that issue time to ferment and grow. Greetings, estrategias, trabajo, and thank you for sharing the truth. Hugs from Dallas, Texas. Thank you very much, my friend, for that super chat. Thank you so much, Francisco. Thanks for that sticker. Very cool sticker. Family, I'm physically exhausted. I need to rest. It's been a very intense weekend of work. Besides the military strategy one, we have more work to do. And we're going to go rest. But tomorrow we have more time. We're probably going to do a show first thing in the morning, LATAM time. From there, we'll start doing live streams all afternoon. Family, thank you so much for joining us live. See you on the next show. Are you drunk? No, I'm not drunk. I'm exhausted, my friend. I'm really exhausted. I'm totally worn out. I invite you to do a live stream like the ones we do here, and you'll understand whether you're drunk or not. I'm worse than drunk. I'm wiped out. Hugs to you all, family. Thanks so much. See you at the next show.